I hate when the car turns off and then you go to turn it back on and it crashes my video.
Why would that
matter? Because it's stupid. That's why it's dumb.
It's not connected.
It obviously is, because it went off. I turned it back on, and lo and behold, it crashed the whole video. We were talking about Steph's Hope, so I'm going to go back and cut the video at Steph's Hope, and then we'll go forward from there. So what Amy had said was Steph's Hope is an A. She said she was an A because she was a sleeper and a dark horse, and she's 100% correct.
What do you mean she's a dark horse?
It's like a sleeper. You call something a dark horse.
I was going to say she's not dark.
No, she's a sweetheart. I called her an A+ because you can't have a horse that struggled all winter with which issues that were bothering her. And then we did her knees, which I hate to do, because what happens is when you do those knees in March, 9 times out of 10, you've opened the floodgates. Now you got to do them in May or June. Now you got to go back and do them in July and August. Then you look back at her 2-year-old season, you've injected her knees 5 or 6 times. I don't want to get into that. And as I said, I wouldn't call it a Hail Mary situation, but it was not my first option with Steph's Hope. Now, I was wrong. We did them the end of March, and we haven't had to do them since, and she has been absolutely fantastic. I love what I see in Steph's Hope. She is a dark horse. She is a sleeper, but she is an A+ in my mind. Sterling Hannover. You can go to Sterling Hannover.
Okay, so Sterling, he's still in the B's because...
That's fair.
I find it... He's immature, and it just seems like it's frustrating to me that it's like certain people have to go with him, and he needs a certain special trip, and he needs this to go this way and this to go that way, and then he'll train good.
You've never heard anybody doing that?
Yes.
That was by Woodmir?
Yes, I do.
You want to tell everybody who it is?
3 Point Blue Chip. So I like him a lot. I love the horse, but I think that he needs to grow up.
Just needs time. You forget that when we were going with 3 Point Blue Chip in May. Remember, I took him to Ohio, and James told me not to take him to Ohio. He thought that I was going to be too rough on him, and we didn't. We took our time, and I sent him over to the Meadows. Remember, Mike Wilder schooled him once.
I just shipped him there.
Yeah, I schooled him once, and you took him over. And Mike Wilder schooled him once, and I remember I told Mike, "Don't clear to the front till."
Yes.
And he did.
I know.
And he pulled up, and he said, "Maybe we'll open him up. Maybe we'll do." I said, "No, you just can't do that."
And then Kemp was with him.
Yeah, and then we qualified him. James qualified him, and James come off the track and said, he's okay. Yes. And it only took about 3 starts before we both agreed he was probably heading to the Breeders' Crown.
Remember, he got the old headbutt in the face.
And that was the second start.
Are you sure?
Start. I think so. Randy headbutted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he won like 3 in a row.
Yeah, and he was amazing. But here's the thing. He just needed to grow up and mature. This horse is the same. There's nothing different about them. I'm not disagreeing. I think he's B also. I'll say B+ because I really like him also. And there's a ton of room he needs to cover between now and being that horse. But I probably would estimate that you will see him take the same trajectory as 3 Point Blue Chip. We're going to get to a certain point. We're going to get right up to the qualifiers, and James is going to say, I don't know about this guy. He's being a little moody, a little cranky.
It's like their care level is quite...
Yeah, it's something. It's something. It must be the breed, because remember Kemp was a runaway, but you couldn't put him on the front. He'd pull up. 3 Point Blue Chip, put him on the front. He'd pull up. Now he'll race on the front when he wants to race on the front. You try and put him there when he doesn't want to go there, Mister, you're going to be really unhappy. So Sterling Hannover, I think B's across. He is probably the most interesting horse to be talked about in any way in a B format. This has nothing to do with his overall talent. I think he's a super talented colt. He just needs to grow up. Supermind.
I love him.
He's a likable horse. I like him a lot too. Yeah. Tell everybody about him, because you guys take care of him.
He's been like consistently. I know he was making breaks and coming out of the turn and stuff, and his hobbles kind of have to be in a certain spot. But I think since we've been making sure he's shod within the 3 weeks. And he's not interfering behind, he's really kind of taken off a little bit.
I think he's not interfering behind because of the speed we're going now, right? And I think that was the thing. A lot of the horses struggle with that, even 220, but mostly 225 to 230, 232 or 5 speed, where they got to switch gears in the middle of the set. And where we really asked Supermind to switch gears and take off was coming out of the turn.
Yeah.
That's where he used to make a break. Yeah. When he would switch leads, touch himself, and make a break. But now he's past that. Once those horses learn to not box their gait up and attack the turn rather than kind of.
He would hesitate, and then he
hesitation
would hit, and then
is,
he would.
That is
he would
exactly
just, and
what
then
I'm
he just
talking about.
became a habit for him.
So, it would not completely shock me if Supermind maybe quietly give Uncle Danny a run for his money by the end of the qualifying season. I can't say at this point I can see him overtaking him as far as next generation type horse, but he's going to be closer than you think he is when he gets to the races.
They're both like easy on themselves. They're not high-strung horses, and they're just like, I like that about them.
So what do you give him?
He's an A+.
I agree. He's an A+. Sweet Lake, this is not only, I keep talking about Captain Luke. She is also Lake Charles's sister, the one that won the Open the last 2 weeks. But both very nice horses, and this is a very nice filly. She's got to grow up. She's got to mature. I can't give her an A+, but she is on her way there. She is a really nice filly, and I hope she's going to be a stake filly, but we'll see. I'm giving her an A.
Yes, she's definitely a tick below Millie Girl. She is.
A tick. Okay.
I gave Millie Girl an
That's
A+.
all right. She's close, but you're right. A tick. So you're going A. All right, that's fair. Tomboy Strong.
Tomboy Strong is strong. I don't really have anything negative to say about her. I did suggest that you maybe go with her.
I'm going to go with her on Tuesday.
Just because I just find, and the same thing happened with Emerald Tom, but this was like a month ago. And when I trained him the one time, this was before I had hobbles on, and I felt like, oh geez, if we speed up a lot in these turns, I think he's going to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's so big, and I find with Tomboy, when we're coming into the last turn, I always try to give her a little bit more room.
She's another one. What you got to do is you got to make her trot into the turn, set the bit in her mouth, and let her power through the turn on her own. You can't let her regress. When you tell me she's pulling up a bit, obviously, at least mentally, she's regressing.
Yes.
So what you have to do is start her up, getting into the turn, set the bit in her mouth, growl at her, and make her accelerate through the turn. That's what you're seeing is her boxing her gait up.
And I just found that, like, I could lose her maybe in the start of the mile, but by the end of the mile, she's flawless. You could throw the lines at her. So I don't really know like I'm sure you can explain it better when you go with her. But I feel like if she has the rail and you blast her out of there, she might run in the first.
Well, every trotter can do that too, but she's just got to focus on her work. That's all. I assume you're giving her a A+.
Yes.
It would be hard not to give her an A+ if we're talking about her heading to the next generation, so I agree. Uncle Danny, we won't waste your time with Uncle Danny. He's an A+ from Amy and I, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The horse is the top of the food chain in the Ohio trotting section, one of the best horses we have. He has really, really turned into a nice horse, and only cements our like for Uncle Peter. I know he's not highly thought of in some smaller circles in Ohio and other places because they can be tough horses to deal with, and Uncle Danny was too at one point, but the finished product is all I care about, and we've had a lot of luck. Uncle Peter has done us a lot of good at the stable, and Uncle Danny looks like he's poised to keep that streak going. Woodmir Bullet, I guess we can't mark him. Trained, I think Smitty said he trained him in 2.6 the other day, if I'm not mistaken. 2.9 for sure, but I think he said 2.6, and he loves him. Smitty's done a great job with Woodmir Betcha, and he loves Woodmir Bullet, so I can't wait to see Woodmir Bullet race. It wouldn't be fair for us to mark that horse. I've never seen him go. I'm not even sure I know what color he is, but Smitty really, really likes him. Our last horse, and this is how, because I stop at Woodmir Bullet sometimes, and we don't follow through with Zena Kemp. Amy has gone with her the last little bit, so you are going to finish off our list today.
She's an A+. I don't really think I need to beat that drum.
No, she's a nice filly. I was almost going to give her an A because I think she could even be better, but she just will. I
think she will be better.
She just will be better. She's just a really nice filly we're going to have a lot of fun with. Robert Lidstrom was the original owner of this horse and still owns shares in her. I got to call him too because she's still in his name. So I got to call him. We got to get that squared away, get the stable opened up for her. Probably going to look to qualify. If everything is perfect, and I know Jim, a couple of people had said, hey, maybe we'll just have her ready for Lexington. Absolutely not. I have no interest in just having her ready for Lexington. She'll be fine at Oak Grove. Yeah. She will be qualified on June the 10th, likely at the Meadows is when I would.
So are you? Oh, I shouldn't ask this.
What?
Put you on the spot. Are you planning to do what you did last year, where you like qualified those ones and then sent them to Kentucky?
Possibly. That's possible. Yes. It depends how they qualify, how they feel. The Meadows is not the same surface as Oak Grove, but it's still a 5/8 mile track. And if Zena feels as good as I assume she does, potentially Jailbird Jog, maybe Love Sensation in New York, depending on what he does. These are all horses that I could see going to Oak Grove. I told Eric to be ready. The last weeks of Oak Grove and the opening of Lexington, there likely will be 6 or 7, as many as 10 horses in Kentucky for us. Now, I was counting potentially Grand Slam Dio. I know Steve didn't think she was good enough today, but I'm not so sure she isn't to do the bottom distinction down there. We'll see if there's classes for her up here. Then by up here, I mean the Meadows. I'm not too worried about it. If there's not, then we could always potentially send her to Kentucky. I could be talked into that quite easily. We had one other horse too. Captain Incredible. Yes, what am I thinking about? But I don't think Captain Incredible is going to stay in Kentucky. He's going to be staged out of the Meadows, I believe, and shipped down. Those stakes are like 8, 9, 10 days. They're scattered a bit, which is enough time for him to bounce around a little bit. I want him there because they know him well. The program, the blacksmith, the vet, everything that we need is at the Meadows, and I don't want to switch programs on a horse that I think is extremely finicky. They got him so good right now, and I just think it would be a travesty to just yank him right out of there. I mean, Eric had Memento Mori good last year, and he had the option to go to the Breeders' Crown, but he just had too much going on. So I think it's the same thing with Tim. They built a pretty good rapport with this horse, and I think it would be a mistake not to at least entertain the idea of staging him out of the Meadows. It's not a long ship. You're talking about 5 hours to Lexington. It's not a big deal. 4.5, 5. If we have stalls down there, ship him in the day or two before. Make sure that he's comfortable, feeling good. Race him. Same thing. Another couple of days. Send him back out and back to the Meadows where he can be jogged and trained. Now that might change, but as of right now, that's my 2 cents for Captain Incredible. So I don't have it in front of me, but I'll go down the list just briefly when you want to touch on Kentucky, where I think everybody's headed and when, because it is a good question. So AC/DC will be tentative. I don't think he's a stake colt just yet as is. So we're looking at maybe a late June qualifier, overnight series, and then we'll see what we have there. On Sarah, Ohio, Blue Rare will be going to Ontario. If she trains great over the next 2 weeks, she'll qualify at the Meadows on the 10th also, or she may be in Ontario by that point. If I feel she's sound, comfortable, good, strong, and ready to rock, the Tompkin Gears is on the 26th. Otherwise, it'll be the first part of July for her. I have not made my mind up as to which direction. Capistrano Knights will be Ohio. No rush there. 22nd, she'll qualify. That's our open house, by the way. Captain Doolittle, same thing. He doesn't have anything till the first part of July, so there's no rush there. Cherry's Girl, I'll qualify her possibly on the 10th. I got to go over her staking again and look and see what we have her into. Degas, there's number 1 for Kentucky. She's looking at potentially Oak Grove, so there's number 1. Dune, don't ask again, will likely qualify towards the end of June. I jumped over Diosa Della Danza. Since she is going to the next generation, she is scheduled to go to the Meadows. Lots of shadows there for her also. Mm-hmm. So she will be scheduled to qualify at the Meadows. Dune, don't know when she's going to Michigan yet, but she will at some point. Emerald Tom, no rush with him. Again, he's in the hunt, but as long as Uncle Danny is rolling, there's no rush for the other colts just yet. Go Strong Hannover will likely be in about the 10th, maybe the week after. We'll see. Had to Know, I suspect on the 22nd will qualify him. Hanger 1, undecided yet. He's a Fearless Peter, will likely be the 22nd. Highest Honors will be at the Meadows because he is, I don't know when they're going to draw these lots for the next generation. I got to call them because if we get a spot in every one, this colt will be qualifying on the 10th at the Meadows. In New York, potentially going to Kentucky. There's 2 potentially. I think I might have jumped over some here, but we'll see. Jailbird Jog, potentially going to Kentucky also. Now, there's a New Jersey component there. We'll see what happens over the next little bit with him also. Uh-oh. There. So that's 3. Jolene Hall's dual eligible, but she's staying in Ohio. That'll be the 22nd. Judy's Money, the 22nd. Leland Hanover in or around the last week of June will qualify him. I've thought about bringing him to the Meadows. He's just not ready just yet. Lifting Legend will be in Ontario. He'll start in the stake races, grassroots, whenever they start. Lifting Legend, Love Sensation. There's 4 potentially for Kentucky. She's New Jersey, but I don't think she's heading that direction. Megan's Lucky Day will be the 22nd. Millie Girl will definitely be the 10th in Pennsylvania. My Name is Wayne, possibly also, otherwise the 22nd. She's just, the Pacing Colts is like July 26th. It's the first time they race.
There's no rush.
No. Well, the only horses we have that is Solidarity and Perfection.
June 26th?
July 26th.
So why would you want to qualify him on June 10th?
Who?
The Pacers.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not qualifying on June 10th. That's why I said there's no rush with Leland Hanover, Perfection Hanover, Solidarity. There's no real rush. Where are we at here? That was Neuromancer, undecided yet with him. That'll be up to him. Perfection Hanover will be some point, probably the 22nd. Maybe I'll take him to the Meadows. I don't know yet. They also have a mini series for 2-year-olds at the end of June.
Where?
Meadows. Perfect Thought. We'll see how she is, but I suspect you'll see her qualify on the 10th and maybe the 17th also at the Meadows, and then make her way to New Jersey. That is the tentative plan with her. Rico Tubbs will be somewhere towards the end of June 22nd, maybe even at Northfield. Riding the Rodeo will be in Ontario again, first or second or third week of June. There, Rosa and Bobby, undecided yet. We have to figure out how long it's going to take to get the big girl to where we need her to be. Royal Duchess will be the 22nd of June. Royal Flush Dio, I don't know yet. He might be on the Meadow schedule. I'm going to train him on Tuesday. We'll see how he trains, and I'll let you know after. Simply Chaotic, planning to have him ready for the Tompkin Gears. But again, that'll depend on how he's coming, how his appetite, his weight, everything looks. These are very, very important things. Solidarity will be somewhere towards the end of June in Ontario, I would imagine. Steph's Hope, 22nd in Northfield Park. Steady Volo, yeah, again, that'll be Ontario. Whenever they want to qualify him, there's no rush. Sterling Hanover will be in Ontario, likely. I don't think you're going to see him make the New Jersey Sires to begin with. We haven't paid into every stake on planet Earth. We thought that this was going to be a killer, so there's no rush with him with regards to the New Jersey Sire Stakes right away. Supermind, 22nd in Ohio. Sweet Lake, probably the 10th or the 17th at the Meadows. Tomboy Strong will be heading over there on the 10th to qualify again. Horses that are going to the next generation are going to be ready for the 10th of June. Uncle Danny, 10th of June, he'll be heading to the Meadows. Woodmir Bullet, I suspect, will be qualifying sometime in June. By the way, Smitty has him almost ready to go now, or getting close. And then Zena Kemp, also likely the 10th or 17th of June, and then potentially heading to Oak Grove. You can't be any more up to date than you are right now with respect to all the babies. 2 videos, about an hour and 25 minutes in total for the 2 of them. So you're completely up to date now with the 2-year-olds. If you have any questions, drop me a line. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. But for right now, you know as much as we do. Take care. Ready to go? Bye-bye.